Hey, this is Russ. Yeah, I'm back out on the road again. It's raining on me. Yep, I feel the drizzle. You're gonna see the stuff on this lens. Yeah, you're gonna see raindrops on the lens in a moment here. I got out too late. What time is it right now? 7:27 in the morning. Now I showed the air quality was really good today, so I figured, well, I got to get out there. Well, didn't say anything about drizzle. So yeah, it's drizzling out here. Now it did say that the humidity was like near 100%. So I guess that was probably the first clue. I'm gonna have to fix my my vest here. There we go. Yeah, it's got a label on the back of the vest. You know, one of those clothing labels. It kind of sticks up, kind of irritates my neck sometimes. I've been tempted to cut it off, but if you cut it, then it's just gonna rub up against your neck, and then that'll really irritate you, right? Forget it. I have to leave it as it is. So what am I riding today? Well, it is the Ufree City Robin X Plus. Yeah, this is the new bike from Ufree. Now, a lot of times when you talk about the City Robin series, it's not really new. It's the new iteration of the City Robins, right? Went from the City Robin, the City Robin, was it 2022? Became the City Robin X. Then it became the City Robin X Plus. So the major differences on the bike have really been just subtle improvements on the bike. I think this version is actually pretty nice. And by the way, for those who might be interested, I should probably take a left turn here. All right, the car is letting me go, so I'm going to do it. The latest version of it is actually pretty nice, and if you're interested in the original one that I got, which is the City Robin X, the one just prior to this one, that's the blue bike, right? Yeah, that's up for sale. Yeah, if you're interested in the City Robin series, contact me about it. We'll see what we can do. You have to come and get it though. I'm in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, so that kind of limits it to local people, or at least people within the surrounding states. Because I've had people from Wisconsin come and pick up bikes, and I've had people from Michigan come and pick up bikes. All right, Indiana, where are you guys? Come on over, pick up a bike. Yeah, there's several bikes available. If you're interested in any of the bikes, just let me know. Yeah. But specifically, this City Robin X, I told Ufree that I will sell that one off because you know, this bike is kind of like that bike. It's just been updated for certain features, so I don't really need both of them, and I'm really running out of room. So they said that's okay. You know, they understand. You can't keep everything. Sooner or later, you have to sell something off. But no, I take the basket off. Somebody was interested in that bike, but I take the basket off, and I take off the rear basket. So it's gonna come as it comes from the company. It doesn't have all the extra accessories on it. Yeah, I stripped it out because I have to put it on this bike, because you know, they gave it to me to show on the bikes, and if I sell them off, it doesn't do them any good. If I do that, I have to hang on to those things. But the bike itself is available. Okay, that's the cadence sensor version of the bike. This one is a torque sensor. Some people like the torque sensors, some people don't. But yeah, this is actually a decent torque sensor on here. I had to wave to the police officer. All right. So why did I pick this bike? I was originally going to ride the Magicycle commuter bike today. Yeah, but I didn't do it because I'm too tired. It's too early in the morning. I just can't get myself to be pedaling the entire time. Let's take a left over here. I didn't want to go pedaling all the time. I'll pedal some, but I didn't want to pedal the entire time. You know, the commuter bike from Magicycle is actually a Class 1 bike, so there's no throttle on it. You don't pedal, you don't move, okay? But unlike the Velotric, which was, well, I'm ducking a little bit here, which was a torque sensor bike, on your right. I would have gone to the left, but she was walking towards the left. So, yeah, the Velotric is a Class 1 torque sensor bike. On your left. So, so same thing, you have to pedal to move, but being a torque sensor bike and not having the leg strength and knee strength to do it, I never really rode that bike very well. But the commuter bike from Magicycle, being Class 1, you have to pedal that one too, is a cadence sensor bike. So I can do 20 miles an hour on that, no problem. Because as long as you keep your legs moving, the bike is moving forward, right? The pedal assist will help you. Sorry for the rain that's on the, I'm sure there's rain on the lens at this point. But this is the reality of riding sometimes. It's gonna be a short one today. I'm not gonna stay out in the rain. I mean, that would be ridiculous. So what got me interested in trying out the commuter bike again from Magicycle is I saw an ad for it. You know, sometimes they run some specials on that bike. Yeah, $899. Might be even cheaper than that. I don't know. I've seen it for at least the $899 area. So if you want one of those type of bikes, just sit tight and wait. Sometimes when sales go on, they put that bike on sale. And that doesn't always go on sale, but I've seen it a couple of times where they've had it for like $899. I mean, that's a steal for that bike. That thing is belt drive. It's a single speed, but it's belt driven. It's quiet, you know, very thin, small tires. Well, it's not small. I mean, the tires themselves are like, I don't know, like 27 inches or something like that, but it's like a 1-inch tire in width. So you don't hear it. It is the quietest bike I have. You could ride that bike, nobody even know you were coming up on them. Yeah, it's that quiet. You don't hear any noise because there's no derailleur. There's no chain. It's a belt. So, so that would be a good one to do. I really like that bike. I said at one time it may be my number 2 best bike. With all the bikes that we have, why is that the number 2? Well, first off, obviously I like my big fat tire bikes and lots of torque and a lot of power and throttle and all that stuff. Well, it doesn't have that, so it can't be my number 1. It could be sitting near the number 2 spot. You know, it's the most basic of basics, but the reason I like it so much is because of the simplicity. I mean, it is so quiet. It's actually a lot of fun to ride. Not unless you're tired. If you're tired, forget it. I'm kind of half awake. I told you guys I'm not really an early riser type person. I wanted to get out there early today, however, because I have someplace to be at 10 a.m. Yeah, I'm heading off to church. They've asked me to play keyboards again. I played keyboards once for church. I had not played live in front of anybody with my keyboards for at least 40 years. Yeah, it was a long time. I started out playing piano when I was a kid. I don't know how old I was. 7, 8 maybe, I don't know. Something like that, 7 or 8 years old. But my brother was always better than me, and I couldn't compete, so I quit. I don't know how long I played piano, a couple years. And then I picked up guitar, and I've been playing guitar for forever, you know. How long have I been playing guitar? Since I was 10. I'm 64 now. 54 years playing guitar. Yeah, and then I learned how to play bass, and I learned how to play drums, but I hadn't played, and I play keyboards. I played on my recordings, but I hadn't played keyboards in front of anyone for probably a good 40 years. I know it was over before the time my daughter was even born have I ever played keyboards in front of anyone. I just did it in the studio. So they asked me to play because I guess at that one time they didn't have a keyboard player for the church worship team, and so they asked me if I could do it, and I said, well, hey, I'm not that good, you know. I guess I must have done well enough that they asked me to do it again. So I pulled out my keyboard. I have a Kurzweil PC88MX for those who are into keyboards and stuff. That's a controller keyboard. It has its own sounds built in and things, and it's an 88 key weighted keyboard. It's huge. It's pretty heavy. I haven't played it in a long time. It was actually standing up on end in my office room where our bunch of bikes are right now. So I had to pull that out, practice a little bit on it. So I'm going to church today because they have a different type of keyboard there. It's made by a company called Nord. It's called the Nord Lead 3. For those who are at church, used to seeing a red keyboard, that's the one. Yeah, a lot of big mega churches use that keyboard because it does a lot of stuff. But being that I have never messed with it before, there's just so many buttons on there, I says, I've got to practice this thing in order to get the type of sounds out of it that I might want to do. So I asked the worship leader if it was okay for me to come on in today to mess with the keyboard, and she said sure. So 10 o'clock, I'm heading to church to learn that keyboard a little bit better. Yeah, on occasion we hear this little grinding sound. You hear that? What that is that's the little lock that they put on there, the cafe lock. The cafe lock sometimes has a little vibration that goes on. If you hit the right frequency of things, it'll vibrate a little bit. And they fixed it actually, but apparently sometimes it still does it. Yeah, just I think it's the casing needs to be squeezed in a little bit or something like that, so it doesn't do that. It's no big deal. It's just a little noise that kind of kicks in every now and then when you hit the right timing of riding. Another thing is you don't have to keep that thing on there too. It's just 2 screws. You can take it off altogether, and then it'll never happen. But then you lose the feature of the cafe lock. Seems to have stopped raining a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna let this guy go. He was kind of hanging into my area anyway, so technically he had the right of way as well. Yeah, the trees are starting to get a little bit overgrown. I'm finding I'm ducking a lot of times. So if you see the video go down a little bit, it's because I'm ducking underneath some tree branches that are sticking out. I know over here, as we're going to go into this area, there is one area that there is a tree branch that sticks out. I can get around it, I think. I just go around this way. Alright, we're going to get into that area where there's a lot of bugs. I'm just going to stay quiet at this point. So stay tuned for a second. I'm just going to go through here and not say anything for a while. Alright, I think we're past it. Yeah, that area for some reason always has bugs. It's always flying around, hits you in the face. You talk, you'll be eating the bugs. I don't want to do that. Yeah, so this Euphree City Robin X Plus, along with the regular City Robin X, yeah, it has the suspension seat post from Suntour, the NCX seat post. That's like $125 seat post. It comes standard with the bike. So if you decide to pick up the blue one from me, yeah, you get a suspension seat post. And it does have the the Velo plush saddle on it. There goes another e-bike. On your right or left, whichever. That's okay. Thank you. So yeah, you get the cushier saddle. You don't get the real wide one. I have that on this bike right now. That's an option. You know, you can always add that if you wanted to, but even the standard plush saddle is pretty nice. I just need a little more width. When you're big, you like the width. So yeah, it's always nice to have the suspension seat posts. You bounce a little bit on it when you hit a bump, which is nice. It takes up that shock, right? And you got front suspension shocks too. So, you know, people have said, do you prefer the suspension seat post or do you prefer the soft tail bike where you have a full suspension in the back and the front on the bike itself? I think for the majority of people, I think they'd be perfectly happy with the suspension seat post, honestly. Yeah. But in terms of the feel of the ride, I prefer the full suspension bike. But yeah, if all I had was this, I could do with that. Yeah, it's nice and cushy. You bounce a little bit when you hit a bump. You could adjust it too, by the way. You can adjust the bounce. If you like it bouncy, you set it for that. If you don't like it as bouncy, you could tighten it up. Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting it to rain on me. It's so small amount though. I mean, it's almost like it's a little drizzle here and there. You know, it came and went. Now it's starting to see if it's going to come back again. So I guess it's going to stay like that for a little bit. Actually, I think I have my suspension seat post a little bit too high right now. Thank you. So yeah, I think I'll stop and readjust a little bit. I'm going to lower it down maybe an inch. I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but even an inch sometimes makes a difference. Yeah, let's stop here. Let's lower it down a little bit. I'll show you the bike too. All right. There's the bike. Big black bike. Let's lower it down just a tad here. Yeah, a little bit easier to get up on and stuff. I like my extension. That's why I usually bring it way up. And yeah, I think I brought it up too high the last time I adjusted it. A little bit nicer now. You don't need your leg to be fully extended, okay? That's not really the proper way of doing it. Okay, there's a lot of construction things going on. I was going to turn there. I think I will turn here. Because they are doing some construction stuff. Let's hop the curb. I don't usually hop curbs, but since I have a suspension seat post and everything, why not? I had to get around this thing. They've got everything blocked off because they're working on stuff. I'll wait for these guys to pass here. All right. Well, I think I think I'm going to be heading back. It's threatening to rain. Nothing showed that it was going to rain, but it is threatening to do so. I don't want to be dripped on. I got to get ready to go to church. So, too much stuff going on today. Yeah, I can't stay out all day long. I wanted to get this ride in while I could, since I was up, but like I said, you know, I was too tired to take the commuter bike out. You know, then you have to pedal. I didn't feel like having to pedal. You know, if I have to, then you got no choice. But you know, sometimes you're tired. That's where the throttle comes in handy. All right, enough for today. Hey, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I'll talk to you guys next time.